Can you think of any friend that I've had during our relationship that has like tried to make a move on me?
Contacting you at inappropriate hours.
What's an inappropriate hour?
Beyond like 10 is weird to me.
Beyond
like, why aren't
10?
you living? Okay, we're not teenagers who are like, oh, like we're going, like, you know what I mean? Like, we got a kid. Why would you pick up your phone at this hour? Like, what is there a fire that my man is supposed to be putting out for you? Like, why don't you have someone else to contact?
What part?
Well, tell me.
What part is on fire? Tell me. What about a time zone difference? 1 a.m, but it's 10 o'clock our time.
She shouldn't, because why do you need to contact anyone at 1 a.m.?
Why do you need to not contact anyone at 1 a.m.?
Because I'm asleep.
Are you though? Who are you dreaming of if you're asleep? Why do you want to get to sleep so quickly? Who do you want to dream of in bed next to me? Lakeith Stanfield? Jeremy Allen White? Bow Wow?
Not Bow Wow.
Current Bow Wow? Grown Bow Wow? Woof. Welcome to Playing House, the podcast about keeping your relationship sexy and secure. I am the king of eating it and beating it, Kolter Bouchard.
Okay, and I am Dominique Bouchard, and we are a real couple having real conversations, inviting you in as our third.
I thought you were going to say your pillow princess, Dominique Bouchard.
I like that too, but I'm not completely sure what that is. It sounds cute, but I don't know what it is.
A pillow princess is when you kind of just lay there.
Am I a pillow princess?
Hey, sometimes. Who doesn't like being a pillow princess once in a while?
There you go.
I'm going to start being a pillow princess.
Good luck with that.
Why?
We'll see how many chances you have to be a pillow princess.
Why can't I just like lay there and have you do stuff to me sometimes? You know?
You can.
When?
You want me to find a calendar? I don't know.
You need a calendar for this?
to identify the days?
You're like our 10th wedding anniversary, maybe?
No, probably not. That's my treat at that point. But yeah, we'll find a day for you. We'll pencil you in. Don't worry. We got you. Read the intro. Don't worry. The intro.
Like just the very best of luck to you, madam. You know?
For what?
Finding someone else.
Who? What? I love you.
Do you?
Yes.
Show me.
You're the one who mentioned this pillow princess stuff. I don't even know what it is.
On today's episode, having close friends of the opposite sex when you're in a relationship. I personally don't even need friends. I should be home with my wife. And at what point is sharing disrespectful? But first, let's check in. How you doing, pal?
I'm good.
All my own words, by the way. I ad-libbed off the cuff.
Just the poet.
Off the cuff.
Just the poet.
How you doing? What's up?
I am so good. It is summertime. My season. I'm alive. You know, like I come alive in the summertime. I don't know about this winter nonsense.
Nah.
We need to eventually leave this cold.
I'm not doing the winter this year.
I refuse to.
It's not happening.
I refuse.
We got to go somewhere.
We got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
We need, I don't know. Where's Worm? Australia? Just get out of here.
The seasons are opposite.
Exactly. It's winter.
So you could do summer here. You could do winter, which is summer in Australia. Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like Georgia, you know?
Yeah, I like Georgia quite a bit. I'm open.
Also,
open to Australia.
Maybe like a Texas. Nah.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. What about? Gotta say Grenada. That's not a joke. They probably don't need tourists right now.
No, actually, they're really encouraging tourists to come.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if we've spoken about Grenada.
Hurricane Beryl.
On the podcast just yet, but yeah. So at the time of recording this, at least Hurricane Beryl was pretty recently passed through. It was a hurricane. It was a stage 4 hurricane when it passed through. And so Grenada is actually there are 3 islands, sister islands. So there's Petite Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada, and the 2 smaller islands.
I'm telling you, you're correct.
I wasn't looking for verification. Anyways, the 2 smaller islands being Petite Martinique and Carriacou. I'm just looking at you. I'm not looking for verification.
Still correct though.
Pretty much flattened. Like 90% of the buildings have been destroyed. That includes hospitals, banks, schools.
Any deaths?
There were a few deaths. Absolutely.
Hate that.
So we are going to include in the description code some opportunities for you to donate and help with the relief that's happening. That is where my family's from. They're not from the smaller sister islands. They're from the main island being Grenada, but still like we're all family out there. And the Caribbean, we've really come together to help each other. So I'm hoping that, you know, you can check out and help in any way that you can.
100%. There's no appropriate time to say this. You're clacking a lot. Yeah. No, they're pretty. Can you keep them on?
No, I'm clacking a lot. We're down to one. Sorry about that.
It's
I was
okay.
having fun shaking my balls, but we'll stop.
But start. What if I wear one?
Go ahead. You want me to get it?
Yeah, I don't
I
wanna
can't
get
bend
up.
over in the skirts.
I can't get up because I've like tucked this.
We can't get it then.
Peter, can you
Is
grab
there
it
a
for me,
stick?
please?
Well, you can find a stick.
Thank you. It's okay.
Can you use the
coming over.
microphone?
It's okay. It's fine. He's
sorry.
gonna do it for me. Thank you very much, Peter. Everybody, thank you.
Woo!
Yeah, for Peter. This is not. Where'd you get this? This is nice.
This is from.
If you're listening right now, we are talking about. They look like a bunch of large golden cheese curds on a
that's fun.
wristband, a bracelet.
It's fun, yeah. I think it's fashionable. Here's a trick. I buy a lot of costume jewelry. I like to mix and match. So I'll get some statement pieces that are investment pieces, but then
Right.
mostly costume jewelry because who has that type of money
Yeah.
yet? So my trick is to spray paint them with.
You spray painted this.
Yeah, with
That's fun.
with transparent spray paint.
Amazing.
So just lock it in. So like when you wash your hands, it's not going to change color. It doesn't tarnish
It's not gonna
over
run
time.
down your hand.
They're turn you green. Like. But how are you doing?
I'll tell you how I'm doing.
Hey, tell us. For those who are only listening in, he's taking an obnoxious sip of tea out of a gorgeous, state-of-the-art, brand new, exclusive mug. Extra large, not completely sure of the size.
It's like it's probably like 16 ounces.
It's larger than the average mug.
Yeah.
So what's the average? 8?
Probably 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it says, "My woman's bathwater," and there is a gorgeous black woman in a tub in colors that match that of our gorgeous set, which you also are not seeing.
Really need the visual for this one. But it's great, and you can also customize it to say my man's bathwater. I believe we have other genders and also skin colors. So you could say like, you could have one that says my man's bathwater, and it's a white man, and it says my husband. So
What?
you do that.
It says my husband or my man?
Oh, my man's bathwater.
Yeah.
Where can people find this?
Yes, if you go to playinghousepod.com, there is now a shop live where you can order this mug as well as. I thought you were raising because you wanted to say something. You can order one of these mugs, like he mentioned. It can be custom to you and what your relationship looks like. There are also going to be some other merch. So we have T-shirts, we got hats. we have the merch. The merch is ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should get a sex toy merch.
a partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like merch, like branded merch.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
we've discussed some ideas there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna
That'd be
give it
fun.
away. Yeah, we're not
That'd
gonna
be
give it
fun.
away.
That'd be great. All right.
We're gonna
Yeah.
keep that. We're gonna keep
Buy
that.
the goddamn mug.
Oh.
Buy the goddamn mug. We paid a designer a lot of money to come up with this thing.
Shout out to Olivia. Oh gosh. Live
From
Digital.
Windsor.
Live Digital. We will also link to that. Shout out to her. We're working with her. She's super dope. Support
Yeah, please support.
us.
Please support. Pete, we got a blinking light over here on camera 1.
Oh dear.
Okay, you can come take a look.
Should we keep talking or pause?
No, keep talking.
All
Whatever.
right, but you didn't tell me how you're doing. So you're drinking tea.
I'm drinking tea.
Yeah. We watched the Renaissance Fair. Well, I fell asleep to it at least.
You did fall
You've
asleep.
been watching this Renaissance documentary?
It's 3 episodes. We just watched the one because when I noticed Dominique, I heard you snoring. And I'm like, is that part of like one of the fight recreations they're doing in here? What's going on here? And it was you catching some Z's. I cannot tell you. There's been a few docuseries that I've watched over the years, and I've been like, there's no way that this is real. Like, this is insane. And the things that people will say when a camera is rolling, out of control.
Like what?
That they're just like admitting to like crimes in some cases.
Oh.
The goss that people are spilling.
Hey.
Another documentary that I was like, there's no way, was the Don't F with Cats documentary on Netflix a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Tiger King, insane.
Nuts. Yeah.
There's another one called Wild Wild Country about a cult. And then Ren Fair.
Okay. Wow, it's up there.
Arguably the lowest of stakes compared to the other documentaries. It's about a Renaissance fair in Texas. But the drama? Oh my God.
Would you recommend it?
Absolutely. 10 out of 10.
Amazing.
I mean, the next 2 episodes might suck. Who knows? I've only watched 1 out of 3, but like, cannot recommend at least the first episode enough. Oh, when you find, and I don't watch much TV, when you find a good show, oof.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're something to escape to.
Yeah. What are you watching on TV?
The Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
3rd season, I believe. 3rd or 4th.
That's a stressful show.
It is, but because I've never worked in the service industry like that, the food industry, I guess, it's not that stressful for me. But it is a stressful show.
Yeah. Seems like it.
Yeah. Great TV.
People like the main guy because he's wore underwear in an ad.
Gorgeous man.
You love him, eh?
I said gorgeous man, and now you're asking me if I'm in love with him.
Well, I didn't say in love with him. You love checking out the bod. You're like, oh, is that thing on the menu?
I'm saying he's a gorgeous man.
Let's go. All right.
Even back when he was on
Shameless.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing about me, right? Like I noticed them before the glow up. Like what was that guy's name? It's from Even Stevens. And he dated Rihanna.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia
LaBeouf dated Rihanna?
He dated, like, he
Oh
was
my
one of the
God.
firsts.
Bro.
Like, one of the first celebrities that we knew of.
Fumbled the bag.
Back when he was on Even Stevens, I was like, this man is fine. And then everyone was like, Dom, are you crazy?
Dom, he's 12.
And then, okay, so I was what, like
you were
7?
You were also 7. You're a
Exactly.
kid, but like this man? Oh my God, this man.
This man, he's so grown. And then he turned into Shia LaBeouf, right? Who else? One thing about me, I will notice them before the glow up, and
Right.
then everybody else will catch on.
Who else? Me?
I didn't say that. You said that.
Well, listen, if you're comparing me to Jeremy Allen White, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And so will he. I'm sure he feels very complimented. He's
He
like,
should.
whoa, thank
He
you.
should.
Thanks, sis. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Should we get into the episode?
Let's get into the episode. I also just, as always, I love the fit.
Thank you.
I love the fit. You got your arm crossed over you. I wish you didn't. I want to see more of you. Thank you. Yes, drink it in. And also a reason, if you're listening, to watch the video stream.
And subscribe to the YouTube
Yes,
channel.
please. Let's get into it.
If not, at least subscribe on Spotify or Apple
Something.
Podcasts.
Or send us
Just
some money or buy
subscribe.
some merch. Today's episode is all about the necessity, and that's I think it's a necessity. Some people think it's a complete waste of time. Some people think it's an affront to God and their marriages, of opposite sex friends.
That was a large intro. Wow.
You and I really differ on this one. I feel
Okay.
very passionate about this. I feel like you're a little at best you're like indifferent about it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, what's your take?
You go first.
Well, so when we talk about having friends of the opposite sex when you were in a relationship, or even friends of the same sex that you were attracted to, I am entirely indifferent to it. Like, I don't care. I don't care if
Why,
you have women friends. I don't care if I do or do not have men friends. Like, I have a very tight-knit group of friends, most of whom are women. And it's like, as long as there are clear boundaries that we can trust, like that's more so what I care about. I think that because you're attracted to women, you're going to be attracted to every woman you come across? No. And same for me. Just because I'm attracted to men, am I attracted to every single man? No. And even the men I am attracted to, I have enough self-control. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just not that big a deal.
So let me ask you
larger
this.
issue at hand.
Hypothetical situation.
Go ahead.
You're hanging out with Shia. You're hanging out with Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, I am.
And you're
Do you have any
you're
black
gonna-
men you want to add to that list?
Did you have any black men you wanted to add to
Ghost.
that list?
What's Ghost's real name? Omar or something?
Sure.
Did I make that up? I completely made that up.
Bow Wow.
Not in 2024, sir.
That's
That's
a glow down. It's a glow down, baby.
Not Bow Wow, my big age.
Ain't no little no more.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And we'll get into boundaries in a bit. I think it's a necessity. I think that having as diverse a group of friends as possible.
Sorry, I thought of someone. Lakeith. What's his last
Stanfield?
name? Oof. Okay, him. Let's talk
Yeah.
about him. Let's talk about
Well, go ahead.
And Kolter
please.
Bouchard.
Yeah.
And Kolter Bouchard.
End of the list. The soon-to-be single Kolter
Yeah.
Bouchard. And the holding on to her former last name, Dominique Bouchard. You can keep it. That's my parting gift to you. Let's talk about Lakeith Stanfield. What do you got?
Well, what's the question? What do I got?
You just said,
What's the
you're
offering?
let's talk about Lakeith. Let's talk.
No. You were coming up with a hypothetical situation.
Yeah, we're just like, you're hanging out with all these guys and you're just like, oh.
Okay, but again,
myself.
even if I am sexually attracted to these men, right? The thing is, whether you're in a relationship or not, yeah, you're going to find yourself sexually maybe even mentally like attracted to people. That does not mean you have to act on it.
For sure. I feel like we're jumping a little bit ahead though, because that's for a later topic in the show.
Okay, let's get into it then.
I think it's a necessity to have as diverse a group of friends as possible, and that's in every single area. And I think that also includes if you're like having opposite sex friends. I think that's important. I think it's especially important if you're a guy to have. And just because you're hanging out with a woman doesn't mean that you're suddenly going to be imbued with like
exactly
the female perspective, whatever that is. But I think that it gives you empathy. I think that the more people you're exposed to and the more people that you see as like human beings worth your time, I think the better the world is. And I think on a smaller level, the better your interpersonal interactions are.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
I completely agree with that. And I think that that's the, like, that to me is the bigger headline, like having an inclusive group of friends. And that's like diversity of race, diversity of genders, diversity across the board, not just like, oh, you're a man and you're heterosexual and you have a bunch of female friends. Like, okay, what, like, are they all black women, for example? Like, do you only chill with black women? There's a deeper issue there then. Like, cause like, why are you only chilling with black women? Like, is there a deeper something that we should be discussing there? Like,
are you speaking, for the record, are you speaking to me? Many of these women are white.
Okay, but so it was that was like an example then, obviously.
I'm not reverse racist, okay?
Racist?
I have some women friends who are white.
But if, like, in that example, if you were only curating a group of friends who were black women and you're married to a black woman, like, is there a level of fetishization? That word, bro. Fetishization?
Fetishization. Fetish? Let's do it 3 times.
We've done
Number
this
2.
so many times. Fetishization.
Nice.
Fetishization happening there, right? Or if you only chill with women who are between the age of 20 to 25. Again, if you're in your early 30s, what's going on there? How are these the only women that you are bringing into your life? Like, that's, to me, is a bigger issue. But if you have a diverse group of friends, that to me is like, whatever. That means you are a well-balanced human at the end of the day.
And also, for the record, that wasn't directed at me. Many of my friends are old hags. So
are they your friends?
Many of my friends are shriveled and basically spinsters. So, in fact, none of my friends are between the ages of 20 and 25.
Good, because again, how would you meet these people? Where are you hanging out that like you can only curate that age group in the current age group that you're in?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know.
I'm good. I'm happy you don't know.
I don't know where to make friends.
You shouldn't know.
Maybe I have enough friends already. I think it's important, and I'm curious why you think that it doesn't really matter, because I feel like we're kind of saying the same thing, which is
we are.
Have a diverse group of friends. But you're saying that it's just not a necessity. I think it is a necessity. I think it's necessary if you're a man to have friends who are women, and I think it's necessary if you're a woman to have friends who are men.
And that's because
I think it gives you exposure to a greater swath of people, and for any friendship is calling a relationship a friendship means that it's predicated on at least some level of empathy.
Okay.
Meaning that there's some give and take. There's some, I see things from your perspective. You see things from my perspective. And so I think if you have meaningful relationships with people who aren't like you, I think that makes you a better person. And I think that that's why I'm a better person than you.
As he allegedly drinks my bathwater.
I mean, it is kind of murky, so.
Wow.
It's a tea with some milk.
I think that we are agreeing with each other to a point that, yes, you should have a diverse group of friends, including genders. But I just don't think that that's the end all be all. That it can't just start and end there. It has to be a diverse group of friends in terms of like their perspectives in life, in terms of like where they come from, in terms of like their lived experiences. And that doesn't end at I'm a woman, you're a man.
What about politically? Like you're a cuck lib, like I am.
Okay.
Are you hanging around with like some MAGA, Trumpster?
Here's the thing. I think that you can okay, like the example is always like, I can disagree with you on Star Wars versus Star Trek, but I can't disagree with you on people's livelihood. And yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Like, I can disagree with you in terms of like no, I think that this pizza spot has the best pizzas. No, I think this pizza spot has the best. But I can't disagree with you on women should have a choice on whether or not they terminate a pregnancy. Like that comes down to livelihood.
I'm just saying, like, they're letting people do it after the babies are born, and also how many terminations should you be allowed to do? You know what I mean? I'm just asking questions.
Make it clear that you're joking.
Am I, Izzy?
So yeah, it comes down to that. So I agree with you, and I think it's more important beyond just having female friends, because you do have a lot of female friends.
I think most of my friends are women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has that ever come up as like a benefit to our relationship?
100%. I'm able to buy you better gifts. Especially like your question earlier about like why you only hanging out with black women,
right?
So that I know the hair to buy, so that I know.
But to be clear, you are not only hanging out with black women.
No. I mean, the person that I spend the most time hanging out with is
the person you're married to. Yes,
a black woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah, capital B, capital W.
Period. With a W, capital.
Because you're black.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I like
black
that.
woman. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
If it was a white woman though, lowercase W.
Woke points
on both of them. Yeah.
Woke points.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah. So talk about some of the pros and cons of having friends of the opposite sex, or the sex that you're attracted to.
When they all sync up.
You're the worst.
When they all sync up. Actually, so the radio station that I used to work at, because it was mostly women who worked there.
Where?
At the last station.
Really?
There was a woman on every day part.
Okay, wow.
So three of them.
Progress.
Like three of them in a row. Well, you could never have two women hosting a show together, though, let's be honest, right? I think me hosting with a woman was the closest they ever got to that, but just because I'm such a limp-wristed beta. But one of them said, confirmed, I didn't ask, but just said like, oh yeah, we would all sync up.
It happens. Listen, most of my workplaces have been mostly women on like the teams that I've been on, and yeah, we all sync up.
Why?
I don't know, and I really wish it would stop.
Do you talk about it?
It's weird. Yeah, we end up knowing. Like, hey, do you have a tampon? Yeah. Are you on your period? Yeah.
And that's when you know you're like syncing complete.
We're just like, oh damn, I have cramps today. Yeah, me too. Are you on your period? You just end up finding out somehow. Is it like Bluetooth pairing? Like, do you have to like do Bluetooth automatically pair?
Well, you have to you have to enter a 4-digit code.
So typically. No, there are no codes.
You're like, what's the code? You're like, oh, it's going to be an all staff email later today. We're going to period sync.
Right.
Red tooth.
That's yes.
Crimson tooth. What are the cons?
Okay.
Cons are, like I think that can, I wouldn't say cause jealousy in a relationship, but I think that can exacerbate some jealousy in a relationship.
I agree.
Because you're like, first off, you're both synced up, right? So you're like, why are you spending time with her and not me? What, do you want her? You don't want me anymore?
Wait, who's synced up?
You and my hypothetical
why would I be synced up with them?
Well, they come over, you say hello.
That's not how that works.
Or I mention that person's name and your body's like, beep, boop, beep, syncing complete. Because my friend will be like, all right, I'll pick you up tonight. Also, tell your wife the code is 4132.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Thank you for sharing that woman's code, by the way.
And then Dominique will be on she'll be like, what did she say the code was? Let me grab a pen. That's a con. The jealousy part, though, in all honesty, can really get there in relationships. And I think I would be fairly unique in this situation where, so working in radio, especially when you have when you have a 2-person show and it's a man and a woman, you're spending like dozens of hours a week in the same room together, right? And so you're forming a very close relationship. And I've had 3 co-hosts during my 10 years in radio. All of them have been women. And at the very beginning, there was, I think you had a feeling about that.
There was a way of going about it. Because, okay, so let me say this.
There was also a wild age gap at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So Meredith was one of you were both co-hosts at one point. Beautiful woman, still one of my favorite people.
Oh, Mare's
just
the
incredible.
Greatest. I love Mare more than you and Nia.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. But when we're talking about pros and cons, like Mare was just immediately respectful to you as her friend,
Of course.
and respectful to me as your wife.
That's my
You know
road
what
dog.
I mean? Absolutely. Right? But not all of your co-hosts have done that.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think all of your friends who are women have done that either.
Sure. Yeah.
Because sometimes it's a case of like when we first started dating and they were already your friends, then it was like me coming in, it was like this energy, this protective energy where it's like, oh, who's this? I gotta size her up and see what she's about.
I don't want to sync up with her. Who's this new girl?
Fair enough.
I'm very selective about who I sync with.
Fair enough. And so your first co-host, I think she had that energy, even though like it wasn't like I'm coming into the picture as a new person. And that's not to say like it's your workplace. I'm not gonna come into your workplace and be like, I'm the wife, respect me, blah. You know what I mean? But like that's weird.
You're getting an all staff after that. Hey, keep your weird wife out of here. Attention, everybody. Leave your weird wives at home. Jesus. Alaska Rhodiola. I met these people. The mother-daughter team who founded this, who are operating this.
We love a family business.
Chef's kiss. Just terrific. Kind. And Alaska, nobody talks about this. Stunning. Nobody ever talks about Alaska. You hear a bunch of other things. You never hear how beautiful it is.
Okay. What else are they saying?
I don't know. Literally, the first thing people say is how beautiful Alaska is.
Truly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing. Well, I love my Alaska Rhodiola. I put it in my morning ginger shot. It helps with increasing mental clarity. It helps with increasing focus.
Calmness. Look how
And
calm you are right now.
Oh my goodness.
You're just zen.
Truly. It helps to decrease stress. And you can see that within me. Alaska Rhodiola, fix your life.
Also libido, which is why I slip it into her bloodstream.
What?
I give her Alaska Rhodiola injections. And it's great. We love it. So play 15 at checkout to save 15%. Alaska Rhodiola, akroseroot.com. I saw how it was made.
Okay.
I visited as a tourist, of course.
Yes.
The facility.
And
where
so
it
what?
is
It's
made.
a plant?
It's an herb. They use the root.
Ooh.
And they dehydrate it and they press it and they turn it into a tincture.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah, what does the box say? Counteract stress, boost energy, enhance immune functions,
Yeah.
alleviate mountain sickness. Did not know that was a thing.
Mountains there. Also, first time in years that I've taken a flight. I've been back almost a week. Haven't gotten sick.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Improve libido and increase health span. Fix your life. Alaska Rhodiola. akroseroot.com. Play 15. 15% off at checkout. Leave him.
Don't leave me. Leave her. You can do
What?
better. You can do better, King. She's a pillow princess. You can do better.
But it felt like she had that. And I think she even approached me and was like, oh, because, I'm the work wife. So, like,
hate that
thank you. And it
term.
was like, whoa, that's weird. Like,
Yeah.
there doesn't have to be a thing. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, we're husband and wife, but we're also best friends, right? So you can also, like, be our friend. And it doesn't have to be this weird energy. You know what I mean? Just be normal.
Yeah, and also, like, for that individual in particular, and for legal reasons, as always, these are just jokes, but that individual, I would say less work wife and more work alcoholic mother.
Oh, dear.
With severe mental illness, and that's coming from a work son, also with some alcohol dependency issues at the time, and also a lot of mental illness, untreated at that time. And so, I guess it was a good match in that
Okay,
respect.
good.
You could tell we were related
I'm glad you got there, though.
spiritually, yeah.
Spiritually.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare, though, sometimes, hey?
Sometimes. When we're talking about some of my, like, pros and cons, I think the reason why, to me, it's not a huge deal for me to have guy friends is because during a time in my life when I had a huge group of guy friends, and they were like brothers to me. A lot of them like big brothers, for example.
Especially because you met him at church, right?
Yeah, like let's be honest, that's where most of my friends came from before I went to university. Like I was going to church camp, I was going to Sunday school, I was going to, like.
You met your stylist at church.
Yeah.
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 Also Grenadian.
Like, okay, like you see how it comes back, donate hurricane barrel relief. But yeah, so they were very much like like big brothers to me. What? Oof.
Like the way that you would slide in like an affiliate code, you're like, by the way, save 10% off your hurricane barrel relief. Yikes. Don't laugh. It's not funny.
It's not funny. So why are you saying
Why
yikes?
are you laughing?
So they were like big brothers to me. And it feels like when I started dating, specifically when I started dating you,
they were like Satan into the church.
They were like, well, who's this white boy at the end of the day? And there wasn't much flexibility or openness to like the potential that I knew what I was getting into, and that I knew what I was getting into and that I could be trusted to make the decisions for myself. And I don't think that represents men at all.
But that was misogynist, no? A little bit.
I just think it was misguided. I don't know if it was specifically for like in terms of misogyny, because again, it was more so like they were trying to be my big brother, especially in the church, knowing that I didn't grow up with men. I don't have like a lot of male cousins, brothers, and stuff like that. So
we have a male nephew.
Okay, my nephew is 17 years younger than me.
Yeah, but like, you know, he also like, you grew up with him.
Yes, but when we're talking about when I was 17, so he was 1.
Yeah. I'm just saying like learning can start at any age.
What's your point?
That maybe he as a man has taught you some things over the years, even at 1.
So that's why, to me, it's not. It's easier for me to say I have a tight knit group of friends and I trust what they have to say, and I can soundboard, like use them as a soundboard. And it's not so important that I have to have a group of really close male friends as well.
Yeah. Because I would say 95% of your friends are women.
Yeah.
And I'd say like a majority of my friends are women. Most times that we have people over, it's just like me hanging with the girls. Yeah. With the exception of the 2 men who are in the room right now.
Shout out to them.
Those are male friends that we share. But aside from that, yeah, it's just like most of our friends are women.
Because women are everything. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
to quote Beyonce, we run the world, girls.
Who run the world?
I thought it was we run the world.
Who run the world?
Girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, that being said, there are a lot of like cultural and societal influences that come into play when deciding, like, when building your group of friends, right? Like, for example, when we lived in Dubai, and one of my close friends, who was also a coworker at the time, he was talking to me about the fact that like growing up.
Big H?
Yes, the fact that like growing up, he didn't have a lot of like girlfriends, right? And I'm talking like romantically or just platonic. And so like I was one of his first friends who was a girl. And he's like, so it feels weird. Like he would tell me it feels weird having like very frank conversations with you, talking about sex, talking about like periods and stuff, because like I, first of all, never grew up really talking about this period. And like now talking about this with a woman, it's very weird for me. And so like we do have to consider like there are cultural, what?
You're just like, you were his first like woman friend.
That's my guy. Yeah.
I like him. He's great.
No, he's great. And actually, so you know what? That's a fair point, because when I lived in Dubai, most of my friends there, they were men, and they were the men that I worked with.
Yeah. And a couple of other people we hung out with, like Nick.
Who one is Nick? Yes.
Nick, right?
Yeah. So again, but I think it's more so like the diversity of experiences, like because, you know, like who we're referring to right now, Hassam, I'm just going to call him by name, Muslim, for example, or what am I forgetting his name?
Nathan?
Thank you.
Wow.
My God.
Guess we know the hierarchy, boys. No, leave it in. Leave it in.
Nathan, growing up in China, for example, like they just all brought very different perspectives, and like were teaching me, beyond just being men, they were teaching me like what their cultural differences were, and like teaching me like how they were brought up. So yeah, that also has to be considered when thinking why people do or do not want to have a group of opposite sex friends.
We all have different comfort levels, and you're right. Like it, you know, you're learning these things from your childhood. You're learning these things from just the way in general that you were societied, I guess, right? Like,
socialized?
I like my word better.
Okay.
But that was the word I was looking for. Side note, I have never heard more racism from, like, fun racism, if there is such a thing.
A white man can't announce
No.
that.
I there's nothing fun
What was so
about
fun about
racism for me. No, you could tell that they were having fun. Nice try. They were just like the jokes that they were telling each other.
About each other.
Oh, my God.
Those are my guys. No, I love them. But when we're also
talking you thinking about one that you liked? What was a stereotype that they said that you thought was particularly
about
true?
White people? Do you want to hear it?
Actually, I do.
Anyway, so growing up,
that's good. Nice.
When we were dating, my mom, you were giving me and my best friend at the time a ride home.
Yeah.
I saw that you wrote it in the notes. So
yeah, we're not going to name check that person. We're not going to name check that person.
We're not going to name check anybody.
Except Nathan and Hassam.
When you dropped me at my place, and then my friend at the time, she lived near you, so you were just going to drive her to her place on your way home. And my mom, she saw me come upstairs and she's like, what are you doing? She's like, she's still in the car. Don't ever let the person you're with be alone with one of your female friends. They cannot be trusted. And I was like, so which one can be trusted, my friend or my boyfriend? Because either way, I'm kind of screwed here. Like, do you know what I mean? So that definitely put a level of like distrust in my mind. And also considering like my parents' relationship, I get it. But like, I think that's another reason why I'm not just like, I need to have male friends and female friends. Like, just have trustworthy people around you.
I'll tell you something.
Tell me.
The reason that I offered to drive that person home was not because I wanted to make another stop or have to make conversation with somebody. It was to impress you and your mom.
My mom was not impressed.
What a nice guy. What a nice cracker trying to take out my daughter, coming to church, right? We sang the welcome song to us. He wanted to literally die. He's driving my daughter's friend home.
My mom's like, why is he so eager to drive him home? You're a little too eager. Don't you see? You can never be too eager.
And she had a kid with her in the car. Yeah. What am I going to do?
We don't know you.
Hey, here's $5. Go. What was it, like 2009? Hey, here's $1.50. Go in and get a push pop at the corner store.
You sound so old.
You
sound so old.
You don't remember push pops?
I'm just like...
Push pops were great, and they were probably $1.50 back then.
I don't think they were.
And they're probably $5 now.
50 cents.
Okay.
Okay, so the great segue to boundaries. Because you mentioned you got a lot of friends who are women.
Yeah. How
do you establish respectful boundaries?
I make my entire personality being married to you. So I think that's pretty clear. I can't think of can you think of any friend that I've had during our relationship that has like tried to make a move on me?
I can think of some who haven't had respectful boundaries. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Like just like contacting you at inappropriate hours.
What's an inappropriate hour?
Beyond like 10 is weird to me.
Beyond
like, why
10?
Aren't you with Okay, we're not teenagers who are like, oh, like we're going, like, you know what I mean? Like, we got a kid. Why would you pick up your phone at this hour? Like, what is there a fire that my man is supposed to be putting out for you? Like, why don't you have someone else to contact?
What part?
Well, tell me.
What part is on fire? Me. What about a time zone difference? My friend Lena will text me at like 1 a.m, but it's 10 o'clock our time.
She should
10
learn
o'clock
not
her time,
to.
1 hour time, whatever.
She should learn not to. That's
why.
Because why do you need to contact anyone at 1 a.m?
Why do you need to not contact anyone at 1 a.m?
Because I'm asleep.
Are you though? Who are you dreaming of if you're asleep? Why do you want to get to sleep so quickly? Who do you want to dream of in bed next to me? Lakeith Stanfield? Jeremy Allen White? Ghost?
The way you say ghost is crazy.
Bow Wow?
Not Bow Wow.
Current Bow Wow? Grown Bow Wow? Woof?
And again, talking about one of your previous co-hosts who like, there were clear boundaries that were crossed there in terms of like her respecting you and me at the end of the day.
Is this the one that apparently and allegedly made out with a coworker?
No, I was not referring to that one. I was referring to the one who liked to attempt to spill tea on the internet.
Right, that one. That's a fun one.
And suggested that I don't know things that she knows.
How did this person communicate the shoulder?
That's what it gave when she wrote that.
That's what it gave.
That's what it gave.
I thought it was giving more of like like tapping your fingers together, evil villain style.
Yes. Mr. Burns. No.
Twiddling a mustache.
She practically yelled it via text. So that's what it gave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy person.
I mean, listen, how do you define crazy? And also, for legal reasons, maybe we just stop referring to that person because who knows what they are capable of. Not me anymore.
She might yell in the comments again. So
yeah, that's a best case scenario. I just want to make it to 2025, you know? I want to be alive for a while, so yeah.
Shall we pull it to Pillow Talk?
Yeah, let's get into it. Pillow Talk is a segment that also will hopefully allow us to live to see New Year's. It's a part of the show that gets a little more intimate, and I'm going to be honest here. The question's usually kind of sexy. So get ready for that. Get ready to break a couple of boundaries.
All right.
You know? Would you like to read the question this week?
I would. What's your favorite way for me to initiate sex?
I should have read that. I'd like you to answer that first, actually. No. Just with communicating consent is my favorite way that you initiate sex.
Be honest here.
When you're like aggressive.
Right. So the opposite.
And you're just like,
oh my.
Mine.
Okay.
You're grabbing my Bible when you say that. And you're like, Galatians chapter 6. Or whatever. Yeah, when you're like aggressive with it. When you're like, it's happening now. I am in heat. Let's go.
I'm in heat.
I've synced up with you, Kolter, my husband. Let's go. That's what I want.
All right.
That's what I like. My favorite way, or your favorite way that I initiate. I want to hear this now.
My favorite way that you initiate sex is... I have to think about this a little bit. Are you talking to yourself?
Yeah, zoom in on Dominique.
You're the editor. Like
zoom in, take notes.
My favorite way that you initiate sex is, like that, like very, very soft and intentionally, like taking your time. Like sometimes like you'll give me a massage first, like you'll dim the lights.
Here's the thing with the massage though.
I fall asleep.
75% of the time, she's snoring within a minute. I'm like,
I'm very tired of it.
Great.
Very low iron.
I need to give half the massage, get it in, get it out, finish the massage.
Because you want to get relaxed, but you don't want to get too relaxed to fall asleep. So it's like, but like the body, like the slow touches, like the slow turn on. You know what I mean? Like I like the long game. I like the foreplay.
I know you like the long game.
What does that mean?
And also the thing about resuming the massage after you're done is
then you're asleep.
You've got extra massage oil.
We're going to do Mailbox. Mailbox is a segment where we read one of your questions. So you can submit a question at playinghousepod.com via audio, or you can send it to info@playinghousepod.com via text.
In the last episode, you said that it was very difficult to chastise me when you were looking at my rich blue eyes.
I said rich blue eyes?
Yeah. Look at you.
Now you're keeping your eyes very wide open.
Blushing over there.
Read the question. This is from Robin.
Well, it's from Robin, a.k.a. Cursed Kel's mom. I have two. You're his worst habits. I can't wait for the answers. And what is your ideal weekend?
Our worst habits.
We're breaking our worst habit, which is repeating the same scripts we've repeated for the last dozen years. And you haven't verbalized this. I'm often the one I'm always the one verbalizing it if it is verbalized.
You're often verbalizing.
Which is, all right, let's break the script. Let's try something new. How do we get out of this? Let's acknowledge the moment. Let's acknowledge that. I'll acknowledge that, like, all right, and I said this earlier today, my impulse is to be just like shut down emotionally. I feel like you're not listening to me, and I just really want to be passive aggressive and ice you out. But I'm not going to do that. This is how I feel. How do you feel? How can we, and I said this, how can we exit this?
Right. Okay. I would say that our worst habits
You're like farting in bed.
Are that we get very bogged down by work. Like we're very type A focused people when we're ready to be. Focused in very different ways, but focused nonetheless. And because of that, we often let the other, like the fun stuff, fall to the wayside because like we're more focused on like we need to get to the goal. So like we can be box checkers in that way. And because of that, we can like work into, what are you looking for?
Being a box checker. Checking a box.
And because of that, we will often like, sometimes you'll come to bed at like 2 a.m. or like we won't see each other during the day because I'm like door closed in my office. Like we're very focused in that way. And especially now that we're working from home with each other, like together, we really need to learn and fix this bad habit of being all about work. What is your ideal weekend?
The sounds that we just made, but like actually making them like unironically.
We'll often like bump our glasses together or
and
like
pretend,
like say like this is how sex works.
Yeah. And it is how sex works. It's clinking your glasses together. Ideal weekend. I think often we brought up Dubai earlier. Waking up at like 11 a.m.
Noon. Because we were at a party till 4 a.m.
Just hungover as hell. Immediately having a drink.
Chinese food.
Yeah, ordering Chinese food, hitting it, taking a nap, waking up. It's dark all of a sudden.
Back to partying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Dubai life.
Another club, bus. Currently, I would say it's something a little more sedate. The perfect weekend for me is we drive maybe like an hour away from home, going to the spa, going to St. Anne's Spa.
Spa, that's
not
an
the
hour.
best.
Yeah.
Maybe like 90 minutes.
Oh yeah. I so that's is probably like ideal in that like once in a while we can do that. But in terms of like in our control and realistically an ideal weekend that we can make for ourselves,
it's just not working
and giving ourselves,
and
each other and our child intentional time. Yeah. Which again, because of our bad habit, we're not very good at yet.
So how are we going to do that? It's not the weekend. But how are we going to seize the evening for ourselves?
Well, I think first, how are we going to seize the day for our family?
Yeah.
Getting better during the week, getting better with like scheduling and making sure that like we're actually doing the things that we said we would do during realistic times, so that like our evenings and our nights are for ourselves and each other. And then so that by the weekend, that time is for our child. And then in the evening time when she's in bed, because she goes to bed pretty easily nowadays, like we can be adults. We can get in the hot tub. We can
check that box.
Okay. That's what I would say. What would you say? How can we be more like seize the day, seize the night for ourselves?
Try not to waste time. And it's difficult to define wasting time or wasted time. But I find myself looking for distractions sometimes because I've overworked myself so much.
That you need the procrastination because your brain just needs a reset or like a pause.
And then I've put off something and I'm like, I can't put it off any longer. I've got to do it now. You and I need to get way better at having like a true cutoff time.
Yes.
And like you got to violate it once in a while because you've like, that's fine. But when it gets violated every day, but like there's no reason why you and I, it's 10 o'clock and I go, I've got 3 hours of work to do. Yeah. Right. And also I feel some resentment sometimes because I'm like, I have 3 hours of work to do and you're watching TV,
asleep.
right? And it's like, okay, love that. But I need to put better restrictions on myself. I can't just like, I can't waste this time. I can't, when I complain that I didn't have time to go to the gym this week, I didn't make time to go to the gym this week. I could have woken up earlier. I could have not, I don't know, gone and scrolled on my phone for 3 hours or whatever. Like I can make this happen.
And it's also communicating, right? Because even last night, so we knew we were going to have a full day of shooting the podcast today. So one thing that was stressing me out about the upcoming day was I need to pick up the hairstylist. I need to drop off Nia. I need to I knew what I had to get done in order for everything to be done on time.
Sure.
So I communicated to you, hey, let's talk about tomorrow morning. Nia needs to be dropped off.
I cut you off.
You cut me off and you said, I'll drop her off.
Before you even said the drop off thing. Full credit, please.
You get full credit. I forgot I was wearing this. I thought I was wearing another dress that I had to pull up. Anyways.
Titties look great.
Thank you. We were struggling. We're trying to figure out, do I use tape? We were up there, just my nipples were all kinds of tugged around, but we got here.
Maybe you need to set some boundaries with the stylist.
No, our boundaries are perfect. The shirts fit.
If the nipples are getting tugged around like that.
No, look, with intention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds
like you're intentionally
if it was
stepping outside the the merrier.
It's not
you know?
the opposite sex you need to worry about.
Yeah. Oh, trust me.
I don't remember what we're talking about. Yes, communicating. So like a part of like avoiding that resentment is like making it clear that like I'm stressed out about this. Here's what I can have from you. Because like if you're resentful that I'm on the computer or watching TV while you have 3 more hours of work, communicate how I can help that reduce those 3 hours.
Let me hit
or
it.
in the future. How does that?
Let me hit it, and then I'm like, I'll work another
you?
9 hours if you want. And eat it from the back. My God.
Or how can we work together the next day so that it doesn't happen again?
Sure.
Thank you for the question, Robin, and thank you so much for watching. We're going to be back next Monday and every Monday after that with a new upload.
Sounds like a threat. We're going to be back
Period.
on Monday and every goddamn Monday until
No
the
matter.
end of time. Until Jesus comes or we are
or
physically incapable.
unable. Yes.
Follow this woman on Instagram at dom.creates, at domcreates on TikTok. And then it's your turn to do me.
Follow this man. This one right here. Yes. This.
No, big me up. Yeah. Let's go.
No, see, now I don't want to.
No,
because
do
first
it.
of all, you cut me off. You assumed I wasn't going to. This sex god. This sex god? We don't know.
There's about to be a vacancy,
Oh, Lord.
judging on these songs that are coming out.
Look into them baby blues and attempt to prevent yourself from following him, from chasing that, from smashing that like button, that subscribe button. Because again, we're back every Monday. Subscribe to the channel at Kolter Talks on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. Get this man to 1 million followers, please, so he can get me to Disneyland
And buy some merch.
World. Buy the merch. Hold it up. playinghousepod.com. Am I supposed to say more things? What a lovely mug
that's
it is.
Bye. We love you.